he's actually like that person. You know, some people put on a persona. There's no persona.
So you here to support Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder? Oh, no, you can't go in. No, you can't go in. What brings you to the fight?
I'm gonna be with my boy Tyson Fury, UK man, and you know, I do like the bronze bomber because obviously he's representing for what he's cutting through with. You know, 42-0, better knockouts, and it's history in itself. You know, you're bringing it back to the Tyson era and stuff like that with them boys there. There's no one been so dominant as him. Who's, you know, he's making the rules. He's the judge himself. Bare knockouts. So you got to give him credit for that. I know a lot of people, you know, say of the opponents he's faced, but at the same time, he's knocked them out. You know what I mean? Whatever you do, you have to beat the people that's in front of you, irrespective of what, if they're cab drivers, if they're bloody dustbin men, he's still knocking them out. And that's not possible with every fighter. Not a lot of people are doing that. So we got to give him credit. So in this fight, I'm going to go with Tyson Fury because he's from the same pond as me. I've got to try and show a little bit of allegiance. And in terms of the UK, it'll be a mega fight with my brother and the likes of Tyson, Anthony Joshua and stuff like that. So for me, there's a different dynamics. But if he wins, I'm going to be happy if he wins either way, you know what I mean? But I'm going to root for Tyson Fury. Like I said, he's loud, he's brash, he's got skills to pay the bills, and hopefully...
So you stand loyal, but you would put your money on Wilder.
You know, I wouldn't write the guy off. You cannot write Wilder off. Listen, you'd be stupid to write Wilder off. Come on, what is it, 41 knockout? Anyone who does that, you got balls of steel. Put your house on that, you lose your house probably, you know what I'm saying? So I think Deontay Wilder potentially might start a lot faster.
I believe that.
Because what you got to look at, let me kind of break it down 2 ways.
He's going to come in with the haymaker.
Exactly, but what I'm going to say is this: when a hometown fighter gets a draw, you normally lose, and that's history in itself. Period. Anytime you get a draw, the likelihood is it's been a close fight, you're more or less lost. But listen, it was a good fight. Obviously, he's got that power, he got the 2 knocks down. I don't know how you had it, but I did have him losing the first 4 or 5 rounds. And Tyson Fury showed what he's about, his skill, his movement. For someone who's 6'9", he moves brilliantly, you know, the feints he does. But I believe, come Saturday night, Deontay Wilder's going to say, listen, I've got nothing to fear. I think he kind of took it a bit too slow. I dropped you twice, and you know, I feel like he's going to come out the gate a lot faster. So what he will do, he's going to go for it. He's got nothing to lose because he knows 8-1, Tyson Fury's got nothing that's going to trouble me in terms of power, because I took some of his best shots and it didn't faze me. So he, for a start, he's going to come out the traps hard, and I think potentially, if he comes out fast, he could upset the apple cart and get a knockout. If he allows Tyson Fury to dictate the pace and range of move, it's going to be similar to what we had before, but I can't see that. I think, listen, when you go in there and you face someone once, you get a familiarity, you understand a little bit about them, and I think they're going to both have a little bit of an understanding with each other. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to a hard fight and an intriguing fight.
How do you feel about Deontay Wilder fans here in America want Dillian Whyte head on the stick?
You know what? This is boxing, man. Listen, bare smoke talk, man. Listen. These men don't understand. We come from smoke, you know. Like seriously. Like, I know.
What does that mean, smoke?
You know, we come from shit, bro. We from the mud. There ain't no games where we at. Like, no, obviously you know over here. The only difference over here, you can go and shop and buy a fight on. It's a bit harder for us to get them, but it goes down in the end. Trust me. There ain't no, you know, like where I come from something. My bro's the same. He is exactly how he is. He's not faking how his persona, he's feisty, he's brash, but he does back up what he does. You know what I mean? A lot of people got to understand he's a pay-per-view fighter and he's built himself that way. You know, obviously you've got Deontay Wilder. He's the sole guy over here. In the UK, you've got Anthony Joshua, you've got Dillian Whyte, you've got Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte, if you look at him, he's the standout guy because he come from nothing and built himself with smack talk and backing up smack talk. So you got to understand there was no machine. Obviously you had Eddie Hearn, but listen.
Why don't you start talking and being this promoter? You're doing a hell of a job, man.
No,
shit.
You know,
fuck that.
No, but that's what I do. Obviously, I do a lot of media stuff. You know, I understand boxing, and I don't talk for the sake of talking. I'm very fair on what it is. If I see something and I think you deserve your credit, I'm going to give you credit for it. I don't need to be hateful because it's not me. I'm not fighting you. You understand? If you try and bring this shit to me, I'm going to bring the smoke back. You know what I'm trying to say? But what I mean is, if you're doing something, I'm a student of the game. I love the game, so I must appreciate the guys that are in there putting themselves on the line and their neck on the line because it's a dangerous sport. Do you understand? So when you're going in there, it's not many people that can go in there and get knockouts like Wilder has.
Sure.
That's a rarity. yet again, what I look at, he's not the most skillful guy, but at the same time, his inadequacy in terms of his skill is still skill in itself. Because
he can't box, but he can punch.
Yeah, but no, he's got skill. Trust me, it's quite weird. You know, my bro Dillian has got mad skill, but sometimes his balance ain't the greatest. But that might be an asset to him. Do you know that? Some people have. If you get what I mean by that. So Wilder, it's unorthodox, but he's got skill in itself. If you get my meaning, because people say it's this and that, but he still wins. He's still in there. I feel he's got a very deceptive jab, very good jab, and he's just got immense power in that right hand. If you saw in the fight, he was going to the body a little bit. I think that might be a key for him in this fight, going to the body early in this fight. Maybe, you know, that's something different. Maybe Tyson Fury doesn't face people who go to the body, you know. So I think if he does that, maybe we might see a different outcome. He might slow Fury down, tire him in the later rounds. I don't know, but it's just me looking at stuff. But listen, I think we're gonna have a good fight.
What happened? Go ahead.
It seemed like Dillian got a lot of disdain towards Wilder, man. Is that real, or is he just trying to get the fight?
No, obviously, you know, I think they've got a needle, just like I think Joshua had. But then they have got respect because they're sportsmen, you know. They're allies. They're people that want to face each other. So somewhere there is that, you know, like when you have the fight, win or lose, you got to say to yourself, and you know what, I got to respect that man because I shared the ring with him many times. Just like Chisora, you know, Chisora and Dillian had a rivalry like none ever, you know. So when people talk about why didn't he face Ortiz and so on, it's business. The pay-per-view numbers, what they would have got would be nothing like the same because of Chisora is a household name. The numbers in pay-per-view sell because them two had that fierce rivalry, but it was ended decisively with the knockout. So in terms of that, some people had Chisora. I didn't see it like that. I thought Dill was boxing smart and being patient. And I said, what you got to understand, Chisora is when he's wounded, he swings for the rafters. So you got to be patient and don't go rushing in because, you know, he's going to swing. And Dill was patient enough and he got the devastating knockout he got. And now it's decisive. Maybe there might be a trilogy. It might be interesting because fans want to see that because they know Dillian Whyte and him bring chemistry. You know, man through the table and there was, you know, like that kind of thing. So I think in terms of Deontay Wilder, he's got a bit of smack to it. He hasn't got it nailed down to the T because he's like, listen, motherfucker, I do knockouts. I ain't got more time for all the bullshit talking. And some people are like that, you know what I mean? Tyson Fury, on the other hand, is a smack talker. So for me, imagine him and Dillian Whyte on the table talking. There's a lot of smack and a lot of people buy into what's going on.
A lot of people in the States want to see Dillian and Ortiz, man. They feel like he's ducking Ortiz.
No chance. You know what it is? I think, you know, Ortiz is a...
What happened?
Ortiz is a very good fighter, but what you got to remember, like I just told you, Chisora fight came on the table. Way more money, way more pay-per-view buys at home. Remember, these fights are in the UK. So if they're in the UK, more people are going to buy into that. They're not going to buy into a man that doesn't talk English. He's going through an interpreter. You can't even get a rivalry going because he's not even giving you nothing. But it takes you probably 3 minutes to get a reply from the one comment you said.
How about
and there's
Ruiz?
no banter.
How about Ruiz?
No, but that's the Ruiz. If you notice, Eddie Hearn offered him twice. But yet again, listen, I'm going to be respectful to Ruiz because I understand what happened. Look, he got rid of his trainer, Manny Rubles, yeah? Obviously, he was overweight already for the Joshua fight. So when you look at it, he wasn't ready. He probably, obviously, Dill's in his right to say he turned the fight down. But what you got to look at is him thinking, if I wasn't ready when I fought Joshua and I was out of shape, now I've left my coach. Why on earth am I going to try and take a fight in the time span that you're giving me? I'm probably not going to be in shape what I would like to be and my mind space. The man's made $18 million US. Hell of a lot of money. His whole life and world's been changed upside down. Look at the cars he's bought, his family's changed. His life will never be the same. So for him, the hunger, the desire, the passion might not be there. He might regain it, like Charles Martin. Look at Charles Martin. He got 5 mil. When he got his 5 mil, he went off the grid for a bit. But now you see he's come back. Now his training is with Sugar Hill. And for me, he looks great. He's going to fight Saturday night. So, you know, you have things that happen to people. So me, I wouldn't take it and say, oh, he was ducking Dillian. I would take it, obviously, Dill's going to say that because they offered him money and he didn't accept. But then, for me, I'm going to look at it as what it is. I'm going to say to myself, me being a smart man, I manage fighters. So if I was managing a fighter, would I put them in if his mental state weren't right? If he just got rid of his trainer, and I don't think I've got 12 weeks of camp. That's me. This is what I'm talking about, where I just talk sense and what's honest, and I just be real. At the end of the day, my bro's a fighter. He's going to talk fight talk because he wants to fight.
What's your take?
You know what happens is that he say anybody can get it, and we feel like Ortiz is the best fighter out there.
Who feels that? You feel that?
I mean, here in the States, we feel like he's better than Chisora.
Potentially, you might think that, but then what you should do is them two should fight. That's what I'd like to see. No, Chisora and Ortiz should fight. But no. If you're looking at them, if you think he's better, what you should do is they should match them two together, and then we'll actually. Then people maybe appreciate how good Chisora actually is.
For round 4, robbing the 4.
There you go. So
you think Tyson Fury?
You know what the problem is when Dillian say like anybody can't get it, but then he mentioned 3 people and Ortiz is not on the list. It's like when you say it's not.
I know, but you're looking at it like this. What? All right, let me spin it again now. He has been knocked out not once, but twice. He doesn't deserve an opportunity.
Only against one man, though.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But we still got to talk about that. He went to sleep twice. You know, rest down there, boy. Feel the case for you. You're just fine. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to go back to the back of the queue. There's a queue. There's an order. So why?
But then you fight Alexander Povetkin though. Alexander Povetkin is not.
I hear you, but well, let's look at this now. Alexander Povetkin. Hold on. Let's go with this. Alexander Povetkin came to the UK and gave Joshua a hell of a fight. Busted his nose. The UK fans understand what he brings to the table. But yet again, I hear you.
But he was knocked out.
Because
he was knocked out.
He was knocked out.
Just like Ortiz.
But yet again, Ortiz, I don't believe he's going to do the numbers what he needs to do. Obviously, look, Povetkin gave a hell of a count against Hunter, and I feel Hunter is very, very, very someone who's underestimated. He's a man that comes from cruiserweight, and he's someone to watch out for. He's the dark.
You think Deontay Wilder has the strongest punch as Mike Tyson?
Do you know what? We can't change errors and say about Mike Tyson and this and that. Mike Tyson in his prime, he was a devastating guy. Everyone used to wake up in the mornings to go and watch Mike Tyson smoke people. So it would be kind of disrespectful to put that in the equation. But what I mean is, Deontay Wilder is Mike Tyson of this era. That's all we got to try and change.
Tyson Fury is my cousin, and he's the best boxer in history.
Yeah, man, big up your cousin, man.
What's your take? What's your take on the relationship between Eddie Hearn? The relationship in Eddie Hearn versus the relationship with Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn. It seems like here in America, like Dillian Whyte plays second fiddle.
Of course, we all know that. It's common knowledge. You can see that he's playing second fiddle because when you look at it, there isn't the love, there isn't the desire, there isn't the passion to push forward. But when you've got a man who commands 100 million or 80 million, come on, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that. So you got to assume your position until you get into position. Then you got to accept. Then you got to accept what it is. Do you understand? So for me, I feel like what it is for me, Dillian is someone. He's probably the most underrated person. Until you get in the ring with him, you understand his skill set, his toughness, his resilience. Because a lot of people had Rivas probably beating Dillian.
Yeah.
A lot of people did because he was an Olympian, he beat Andy Ruiz, he was undefeated going in. Obviously he gave a good account of himself, but he got outboxed. Joseph Parker, another one, former world champion. Went in there, they were saying, well, he's going to outbox Dillian or Dillian might get a knockout. But Dillian was the guy that went in there and outboxed the guy who's got all the pedigree. So yeah, again, we got to look at it. And what you got to remember, guys, 7 amateur fights.
We know that.
So we got to take that into account. Because you've got Deontay Wilder as a bronze medalist in the Olympics. Probably 40, 50 fights. Joshua, 40, 60 fights, gold medal. So we must respect what he's done. Ortiz probably had about 300 amateur fights. So when you look at these guys who have had this, for where Dillian Whyte is today, you gotta salute him. Even though, forget him being my bro, just being an athlete he is to compete with these guys in this era. All of them are Olympians.
Well, you know what the problem
7 amateur fights.
You know where the problem comes in is not that we discredited Dillian Whyte's accomplishments, is that when he discredited the other boxers.
Yeah, but he's unruly. Like Cartel, unruly, wicked and bad, Yardman thing, Jamaican. We just got no mercy. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's nothing to do with he's just being Jamaican, outwardly spoken. Inside, he probably respects a guy, but at the same time, you know what? He's got to say what he's got to say to put himself into position. Sometimes your mouth can talk you into a fight and get you into position. Sometimes people say, hey buddy, you bit off more than you could chew, now you're in position. But then that's what he's going to do to try and prove them wrong. And at the minute, he's been waiting 800-900 days. So
for what?
To get his shot, and it's coming. It's going to be.
But there's been some hiccups along the way.
Obviously,
he tested positive by UCLAD,
not
illegal
guilty.
gloves.
No, what illegal gloves?
He changed his gloves. Rivas and Bob Arum said he changed his gloves without them knowing.
Even if they say that, but then the board got to sanction the gloves you give. So even irrespective if they say, well, the gloves originally, no, listen, you can't do anything without sanctioning bodies.
Okay.
We all know that. So irrespective if they say, like, we're wearing these, I say I'm wearing this watch today. And maybe later on I'm going to say, I've got another Rolex at 18K, I'm going to wear this one. But it's different for me. But I'm saying, if you look at it, you're going to ask, you're going to say, let me look at this. But you've got to speak to the governing body. You can't go in the ring with different gloves without speaking to the sanctioning bodies. And obviously you spoke to them and they cleared those and went in. When you're talking about an adverse finding, listen, this game happens. Once you, listen, he went to court.
What was the adverse finding?
I don't know.
Can you give us behind it?
No, I can't comment on any of that. What I do know is he was found not guilty. And when you're found not guilty, you don't say to a man who might have murdered 10 people and he got found not guilty. Where's
the B?
Hey, homie, you still guilty.
Hey, Dean, where's the B sample at, though?
Motherfucker, I don't know what the CD fucking sample is.
That's what we want to know. Where the hell is the B sample at, dog?
No, that's your right. Listen, what you got to understand is people always asking about the B sample or whatever, but what you got to look at is this. That's discretionary to ask for the B sample. If they're already proven beforehand that they kind of understood what the issue was beforehand, you don't need to go into the B sample because they established what the problem was already, and they said, you know what, you have to go through the system, and he was cleared and vindicated. So what we've got to look at is, I know there's, people look, obviously we're over here, I'm coming to Vegas, so obviously you lot are coming out thinking shit. We ain't got Dillian, we got this one. Now we're going to jump on it.
We saw you walking past, I said, there go Dean.
So it's just one of them.
You should have told, he still got time to get here, man.
No, he's not going to come. I'm here drinking Don Julio, man. I'm gonna represent, man. We gonna get wavy.
But listen, Deontay knocked out Tyson Fury. He won the fight. Is that what you're going for? A knockout? You feel like he's gonna knock him out?
Yeah, definitely.
So what happened in the first? What happened in the first fight? No, Tyson Fury's gonna whoop his ass.
What happened in the first
fight?
You're
gonna get bamboozled, fam.
You got good movement. 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 You got good movement.
You're gonna get smoked.
That would have been a perfect position, though. That would have been a perfect opportunity for Dillian, though.
No, 100%. I believe this would have been a good opportunity, but you know, he had to fight in Saudi Arabia with
some guy, some 40-year-old.
No, hold on.
Wait, 39 and a half. I'm sorry.
Marius Whyte. So, all right, listen, what you got to understand, Marius Whyte was already
Stop it.
No.
Don't lose credibility now, Dean.
No. I am going to break it down for you, my guy.
Dean, don't lose credibility. Dean, don't lose credibility now, dog.
Marius Whyte was already meant to fight November the 28th. He was in shape. He was actually, go and check the weight of Marius Whyte. He was in the best shape of his career. If you go and look at the weight he was and saw his shape. So he come in. What you got to remember is Dillian came in 2 stones heavier than he came in against Whyte.
He hadn't trained.
So what you got to look at is, think about it. If he hadn't trained and he come in and he still was doing good enough stuff, he was getting caught with stuff. It's boxing. You're not going to go to the pool and not get wet. So that's just a fact. But he still went in there and won virtually every round and got it. But this is what he's saying today. You know what? I'm not taking no chances no more. So what I'm going to do, if I come over, I'm going to miss training days. So he's taking it very serious. He knows he's got a tough guy in front of him.
You're a great PR man. He's missing training days. That's a great answer. That's a great heavyweight missing training days when he's been. Come on, cut it out.
He said that Andy Ruiz. He discredited Andy Ruiz for coming out of shape, man. But he came in at 270 pounds.
But you know, when you look at Andy Ruiz, it's not that pleasing on the eye. I like Andy Ruiz. Credit to him. Sorry, I'm not disrespecting you. Hell of a fighter. I rate him very, very highly. You know, for someone who looks like him and moves the way he does, is astonishing. Just like Tyson Fury. He went in, he became the first Mexican heavyweight champion in the world, but he gave it away. You know, he went and ate himself, he balled himself out, jewelry, Tom, watches, cars. He balled himself out and lost his goddamn mind. Yeah? So that's on him. But it can happen. You know what I'm saying? Money changes people, do you understand? So, you know, he'll come again, I think. He's young enough to go and then he'll say to himself, you know what, let me find myself. A prime example is Maidana. 2 fights, I've been here with them fights with Mayweather. He made that money, he said, yo, enough. I'm done with boxing. Fuck y'all niggas. I'm gonna go and ball out. I'm gonna eat some shit in Argentina or whatever. I'm gonna do me. And he ain't come back now. His probably money's going down now. He wants to make a comeback. But he can't because it's been too long.
Got too big.
I get the game. Yeah. So like I said, I give credit where credit's due. Andy Ruiz is a hell of a fighter. When he comes back, I think him and Dillian, that will be a mad fight because those boys, they accumulation shots. But Andy Ruiz dangerous, very fast. And even in that fight with Joshua, when Joshua engaged, he gave him a hell of a lot of problems when he started to engage. But the blueprint's there how to beat Andy Ruiz. If you can box and you can move and you don't engage, you can see what
How good is Anthony Joshua?
Anthony Joshua is, for me, he's a very good specimen of an athlete. He adapted, because watch this, what happened, he lost, he went and he reevaluated the situation, and for me, he went and boxed better than, I didn't think he could move, even after
Not for 12 rounds, not for 12 rounds.
I said to him, you know what, the only thing is, I said this is how I believe you should fight, but I didn't believe you had it in you that you could move for 12 rounds and do this. And he proved everyone wrong and went in there and won. Now he's saying, I'm 2-time champion of the world, and he probably don't give a shit about no one, because you guys showed your real colors, motherfuckers.
Is he a coward? Or is he a coward? No, like scary.
Boxing.
No.
It's cool boxing. He went and boxed.
And I know, but does he have in real life? Is he instinctively tough?
I wouldn't say that.
Or is he like
none of these boys that go in there and put themselves on the line are cowards. It doesn't matter what any one of them says against any of them. They're all gladiators and warriors. For you to go in the ring and fight, and we're talking about these elite boys, go in there and fight each other and do it. And Joshua has fought very, very top boys. You know what I mean? Obviously, some people might say he's a bit robotic, but listen, he gets the job done. He's unified champion. And some people, when they get knocked out, how he got knocked out, he came back and went and done it in good fashion. And I think he proved himself.
He really wanted Wilder fight?
Well, it's not if I really think. They've said they've made offers to Wilder. The zone offers Wilder 120 million. Why the hell did that guy turn that down? Shit, he ain't getting that kind of money anyway. Where's he getting that money?
Oh, yeah, this fight is.
He ain't getting no 120
No, not 100, not 100, but
the thing is, Joshua wasn't guaranteed in the contract. You can't guarantee him because he's not signed to Joshua.
That guy, next champ.
John Jolie.
Hey, with a name like that, it's definitely him. John Joe fucking
Hey, James, thank you, man.
Listen, guys, no respect to you guys.
he gotta go.
I don't think
I said head movement though. Did you see he moved his head?
Thank you, Dane. I appreciate you, man.
Love, man.
Pleasure talking to you, man. Pleasure talking to you, man. Pleasure talking to you.